Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to talk about human psychology. It will help you to learn about people's behavior from their body language. This video is an excellent guide to understanding human psychology and nature. With this, the art of reading people is an essential part of understanding human nature. Think of it like a cheat code that will help you see people, action and words for what they do and say. To understand the human psychology quickly, we have explained its important lesson one by one in 11th sign. Therefore, it is very important to watch the video till the end. So let's start. Sign number 1, openness. The sign of openness will help you distinguish between a liar and genuine person. Many gestures shows openness. The first of these is open hands, one feeling that most of us readily associate with honesty and openness is open arms. When people are frustrated, they put empty hands on their chest and gesture like, "What do you want from me?" Apart from this, the position of shrugging shoulders with open hands, in which the palms are also facing upwards. People use this position in many expressive ways to show their true feeling and character before the person in front of has spoken. See children, they openly display their hands when proud of their achievement, but when they feel guilty or suspicious about a situation, they hide their hands in their pocket or behind their back. The following symbol is the opening coat. People who are open or friendly towards you often unbutton or even unbutton their coats in your presence. The author in a research videotape recorded the meeting found that those whose coat button were opened had more chances of consent. The one who has just changed his mind to agree with your word still spread his arms and unbutton his coat. Keeping him in the same posture can achieve your mutual purpose more quickly. You may have noticed the come together sign at times when the conversation was going well, in which the person sitting in the group unbuttons his coat, opens his legs and moves to the edge of the chair closer to the desk or table. This signal occurs in most cases during a verbal conversation that shows a mutual agreement, a solution, or generally a positive expression of working together for both needs. Sign number 2, defensiveness. Every player knows the umpire gesture of crossing his arms or his chest. In this, the reference wants to say that he is ready to defend his decision, talk to another umpire about it. Also, crossing the hand on the chest as a defensive gesture indicates to the player that you have argued too much. So now I do not want to get into it. The cross arm position is common in our daily life and in used worldwide to show defensiveness. Very young children cross their arms when neglecting their parents' instruction. In this position, people try to make their mindset opposite to any sudden attack or fixed thing. This gesture is the easiest to understand of all the signals the author researched. It is also a gesture that influences the behavior of others. In a group of 4 or more people, you can control the whole group by crossing your arms in a defensive position. Maintain this feeling while listening and speaking, and notice how quickly other group members follow your posture. Once 2 of them adopt and stick to this posture, other members also influence. Doing this will make it easy to divide the group into smaller subgroups or persuade them. Unfortunately, many people are unaware that when the other person crossing their arms, they sign that they have become defensive. Those who don't know this, instead of engaging with the defensive person to bring out their feeling and find out what their needs are. Continue with the same thing that caused the other person to become defensive in the first place. Due to this, often the defensive person starts crossing his mind towards your words and denies whatever you are saying. So, when you do this to the person in front of you, try to change where needed by thinking again about what you are talking to him or how you behaves. Sign number 3, evolution. When a person is in such a position where he is completely lost in solving a problem, people who make a thinker like posture with their hands on their cheeks are involved in some thinking, in some posture in which sometimes their eyes start blinking lightly. In this, they bring their hands to face, rest their chin in their palm and extend their index finger to the cheek. The rest of the fingers remain under the mouth. In this, their thought pattern is hostile towards the speaker. So, your job is to convert their evolution into interest. The next sign is thinking by bowing the head slightly. Charles Darwin observed in his studies that animal and human turn their head whenever they hear something that interests them. From a very young age, women readily understand the importance of this gesture. It is a signal to listen attentively. They use it while conversing with the man they want to influence. Once the speaker knows this feeling, he can engage with his audience more positively and gauge how well his information gets across. This is especially helpful when the speaker wants to cover a lot of information in a short amount of time, but when it starts getting overloaded, listeners show disinterest towards extra detail. Body posture change in this, the head straightens instead of bowing, the back straightens, then bends again, glancing at the ceiling clock or other object. Some people position their bodies as if pointing towards the exit. If the conversation has reached this level, then as a speaker, you should understand that they are non-verbally giving you the signal to stop. So, sign number 4 is suspicion and secretiveness. Pointing towards the exit of the feet or the whole body is its sign. You will often see that suddenly someone has bent his body so that his feet are towards the door. This gesture indicates that he wants to end the meeting, conversation, or whatever is happening. Changing his body is telling you he wants to go, but being aware of it is one thing and doing something about it is another. Either do something different to get him to turn towards you and lean forward, or let him go. Continuing to talk to someone who wants to leave you will not benefit you in the long term. People you meet in public also give similar signals. Sometime during the last half hour of the conversation, they start keeping their body in such a posture as if they want to leave. As an intelligent host, you should notice this signal and honestly say it's getting late. Time flies by when we are together. You may see that they move their body to the edge of their chair after you speak, another supporting sign that they want to leave the meeting. Usually touching or rubbing the nose with the index finger is also a sign of suspicion or secrecy. Once a student was discussing book with Professor Bardwistell at the university. When asked about his opinion of new classic book, the student rubbed his nose and said that he liked the book. The truth is, said that, Professor, you didn't like the book. In conversation, the student admitted that he had only read a few pages and didn't like them. So, sign number 5 is readiness. Standing with hands on hip is a signal of readiness. This is the first of such gestures that we can identify. You often see this during a game when an athlete waits to join the game. When a person stands with his hand on his hips and legs spread wide in a business meeting, is likely interested in getting the people present to follow his instruction. Apart from this, when you are pursuing such a goal with entire motivation, pay attention to your posture. Often you also stand like this. A high achiever often does this because it non-verbally shows his dedication towards a goal. Think briefly about someone you know who usually falls into this posture. You will find that he is goal oriented. According to him, he enjoys competing. To understand this, the author has kept a record of the participants who have attended his seminars for many years. About 75% of them, while asking questions during the first hour of the workshop, had their coats off, buttoned, unbuttoned, or hands on hips. Posture. This is a posture in which the person in front of expresses his desire to be more capable. However, this is a positive sign, so there is no reason to worry from your side. And if you are also a goal oriented person, you can easily connect with them and share your ideas. This can help you reach the goal set together. The next sign of readiness is the person sitting on the chair edge. In several videotape recording, the author has observed that humans move to the edge of chair when they are ready to compromise, help, buy, accept, agree, or draw a conclusion. It shows that the person is entirely prepared to take action. Remember the last time you signed a contract, you were probably sitting on the edge of your chair for a few minutes. If you didn't like the deal, you might have used the same gesture we learned in the previous chapter to show your feeling to the salesman before getting up and walking away. Many salespeople with whom the author and his team discuss agree that people show their excitement to buy by banging on the edge of their seats. They also decided that when someone offers them too many objections between sales and then sits on the edge of their chair, the customer gets up and prepared to leave. If you are salesman and want to get back the lost sales, then it is time to bounce back. If you have nothing new to rekindle that customer interest in your product, you must spend time with other potential customers. The next signal of readiness is arm extended while hand gripping the table's edge while sitting or standing. This posture signals, Tusha, listen to me, I have something to say, with a strong command. Imagine the condition where junior says to his senior in this posture, what will you remove me from the job? I quit the job. You need to recognize others' gesture and feeling. Also, avoid becoming a cause of difficulty. You should know these basic body language sign of your child, employee, boss, customer, or any unknown person, because with this you will be able to talk openly with them and people will be able to connect well with you. But if you are often entirely oblivious to their non-verbal messages, the result is always an emotional upheaval that can cause relationship difficulties. Sign number 6. Reassurance among young people. Handwriting by rubbing and thumbs together is one of the most common gestures that require reassurance. During this time, pinching with the hand, shaving something, or putting a pen or pencil in the mouth for sucking is another gesture. When a woman says, "Here's something uncomfortable," she needs to be gently explained to assure them, to ask them, are you sure what you just said? She will probably try to ensure you, she or she will get defensive and refuse to answer. In either case, she is signaling that she doesn't quite believe what she said. Needing reassurance, another sign to look for reassurance is pinching the fleshy part of the hand. Both males and females use it. However, it is more typical in women. In one study, each other first gave participants coffee so that they would keep their hands busy while watching the playback. They wanted to see how many people would stop drinking coffee and start playing snuff. They found that most of them first used the cup as a shield in front of their eyes, as if it was trying to stop them from doing an urgent task, then put it down and continued pinching. Different finger gestures express people worries or internal conflict. A child needing reassurance sucks their thumb. A student nervous about exam bites their nails, and the taxpayer nervous about payment due to dates gnaw at their cuticles until they hurt sometime. Student and taxpayers substitutes for fingers and use pens and pencils for cutting gesture. People who prefer something other than the taste of plastic, metal or wood use paper or cloth. If you can give assurance according to the need at such a time, then your opponent can be made an ally. Sign number 7, cooperation. In this you will know people who want to help and how they express their wishes. The author was part of a team meeting. The issue involved were patent right, equity, positions, royalty, research and development cost, motivating customer, production and distributors for more sales. As soon as the conversation started, one of the opposing team members began to non-verbally indicate that he was ready by sitting in the chair and putting his feet on his toes. That he is ready. The team members of the other listened to him with an open mind and satisfied his objections thoroughly. This influenced him positively and he became a good team supporter. He understood the concern of both parties and suggested such a method for the benefit of both. Many times this must have happened to you when you felt that someone was supporting you ultimately, but suddenly something went wrong. He was calling you by first name, but now he started calling you formally. His smile changed and he was staring at you with lowered brows. You might have felt entirely embarrassed to deal with such a sudden change. In reality, he might not have liked anything about you. In such a situation, it is better not to let cooperation turn towards resistance. Instead, watch their response by watching their body language. Here are some cooperative symbols with which you can do this. Sitting on the edge of the chair. This is a cooperative symbol that you are interested in what you are saying. An example is a buyer shifting his weight towards the edge of the chair to show excitement to sign the contract. Make face-to-face hand gestures. Do not cross your arms. Keep them open and use them for conversational gestures. Unbutton your coat. This gesture shows that you are open to the posture person and their thought and paying attention to what they say. Bowed head. Talking with a bowed head in between shows that you ready to give as much support as possible. You are not close-minded towards their tasks but are taking interest. Sign number 8, frustration. Tightly clenched hand are a sign of frustration. In one of his seminars, the author observed a videotape recording of conversational in which the participant grips his hand tightly when in tension. During the last part of the conversation, he sits with both hands on the table. There is a disconnect between their spoken word and gesture. It is also used to show how sometimes we try to convey when people are taking things to mean something else. What we mean non-verbally in this example, the participant perceives this opponent is trying to belittle him with an I win, I lose dialogue, trying to reduce his importance by talking like this. So he clenches his hands, stares at his opponent, puts his body in attack mode and across his legs, and tries to say, I am open minded and want to settle this. His opponent feels that his verbal communication contradicts his belief and does not believe what is displayed. He gets false confidence and is even harder to win the conversation. This method of his proves to be wrong because increased aggressions increase the fear of the person in front. At this point, the frustrated person either ends the conversation or becomes very angry. But the situation can worsen when you do nothing positively to improve it. In this case, the speaker or listener believed to be attacking should have tried to remove the doubt in the other person's mind. Those who try to convince others by holding their hands tightly do not get much success. In such a situation, you need to give comfort or assurance to the frustrated person to reach a mutual agreement. Sign number 9, confidence. Sitting in a sleeve-played position. This gesture is made when people interlace their fingers and form something like a church steeple. It means you are feeling confident, satisfied and proud. It shows that you have completed confidence in what you are saying. There are two types of steepling, open and convert form. Women typically use the confidential form or lover steepling gesture. She keeps her hand in her lap while sitting or fold her fingers together instead of belt while standing. The more important you feel, the higher you raise your hands. Another way of steepling is when the hands are more closely joined. This signal shows more confidence. Sitting with feet on the desk is also a sign of looking confident. People who put their feet on things show nonverbal dominance or ownership. Bosses often do this. You must have often seen car owners touching their car or leaning towards it while talking to someone about their car. It is also a sign that they are showing ownership over their vehicle. Apart from this, you must have often seen couples keeping their hands around their partner's waist. They want to say non-verbally that only they have authority over that person and no one else. This gesture shows that only ownership but also love. Sign number 10, nervousness. People who deliberately want to hide their talk keep their hands on their mouth and talk at a distance of 6 to 12 inches from the listener. This signals that they are nervous. Also, sometimes in nervousness, a person places his elbow on the table or desk, form a pyramid with his forearms and places both hands together directly in front of his mouth. He keeps this posture not only while talking but also while listening. Such people play a cat and mouse game with the person in front of them. If you do not talk to them openly, they will also not speak openly because of shame. Apart from this, pulling the pants while sitting is also a sign of nervousness. The gesture of pulling the pant is related to the decision process. When a decision occurs in someone's mind, he pulls his pants more and starts shaking in his chair. After taking the decision, the pulling of the pants stops. Using this behavior as a parameter, you can gauge how close the other person is to making a decision. The faster one moves, the more the chances of being close to decision. So last and final sign number 11, self-control. From an early age, we are taught that patience and perseverance are necessary to accomplish goals and purposes. Self-control is essential for this. We often use this method to overcome frustration and avoid losing our temper. It allows us to behave in a socially acceptance manner, holding one hand behind the back and squeezing it tightly while the other hand grasps the wrist or arm is a standard method of self-control. This can be seen at many business meetings or public events. When an important person surrounded by stress, pressure or anxiety still tries to control it, closed ankles and clenched hand also show self-control. Remember that moment in your life when you went to this dentist, when it was time for you dental treatment. If you had noticed your feet, your heels would be locked and your hand will be clenched. Usually we resort to this posture to suppress our strong feeling in a stressful jobs interviews. Many people sit with their ankles closed during the interview when they were uncomfortable, irritable or unsatisfied with what was happening. They would lock their ankles like this. The next sign is stopping the hand or holding the wrist. Along with human, animals also use other patterns while expressing internal thoughts. When a person is unable to express his feeling directly in anger, so is desperation, he starts scratching his head and rubbing the neck of his neck. Then he starts showing mosaic movement or threatening poses like selling your feet, holding your wrist there, taking a threatening step forward to scare or intimidate, and he expresses his feeling in one place like hitting the image with his first fist or express by kicking it the door. These activities are such a sign about which you can connect with the emotional state of others and must be aware to face this. So thanks a lot for watching this video, guys. I think it has been very long video today. First time I have taken this much time. So in this video, I hope in this video you have learned many things about human psychology and about human posture. So keep watching this video, keep supporting me, guys. I will